Good afternoon and happy Pride from St. Bart's Church in Midtown Manhattan. I'm Bishop Dean Wolfe, rector of St. Bart's, and on behalf of the parish, we welcome you to this broadcast of Celebrate Us, a pre-recorded montage of videos that raises up and honors the LGBTQ community through music, visual art, and dance.
I'm Susan Anderson-Smith, the Associate Rector for Justice and Reconciliation here at St. Bart's. We know that Pride 2020 has been celebrated in a very different way this year. In past years, on this day, we would have been attending parties and marching throughout the city. While that's not possible, what is possible is to do what the LGBTQ community has always done, to find a way where there is no way.
And we believe that we've done that. This afternoon, we're delighted to bring you the talent of members of the LGBTQ community, allies, friends, whose offerings will help us embrace and celebrate the spirit of Pride.
From wherever you are, we are so glad you have joined us for this celebration. Welcome. Happy Pride. And now, celebrate us.
I'm singing, and I'm going to read it off the sheet because I get tongue-tied. I am the very model of a modern Major General. And that's hard enough to say, so imagine him singing this song. So please put your hands together for William Fulton.
Major General, like information, vegetable, and emboldened mineral. I know the kings of England and I quote the vices horrible, from Marathon to Waterloo and Nordic categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations both simple and quadratical. About binomial there are mine with a lot of news. Sorry. Aha! With many short facts about the square of the hypotenuse. I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and in manliness. Short in matters vegetable, animal and mineral. I am the very model of a modern Major General. I know a mythic history, King Arthur's and Sir Caradox. I also have a cross I have a pretty taste of paradox. I could nearly giants all the crimes of Heliogabalus and turning cycles of realities for ravenous. I can tell a number of Raphaels from pterodons and zombonies. I know the broken chorus from the frogs of Aristophanes, and I can know a few to which are the music's dinner for. Aha! With miniature bags, that Then I can write a washing bill in Babylonic uniform and tell you every detail of Caractacus's uniform. In short, in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern Major General. In fact, when I know what is meant by Marilyn and Ravelin, when I can tell its sight a mouse or rifle from a javelin, when such affairs as sorties and surprises I'm all very at, and when I know precisely what is meant by commissariat, when I have learned what progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more of tactics than a novice in a nunnery, in short, when I have a smattering of elemental strategy. Oh dear, strategy. You'll say a better Major General and never Saturday. For my military knowledge, though I'm plucky and adventuring, has only been brought down from the beginning of the century. But still in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very modern of a modern Major General.
I still don't know how you say those words so quickly in that song. Very impressive indeed.
Hello, and happy Pride. I'm David Carson, a parishioner at St. Bart's. When I was growing up in the Midwest in the 1950s, pride was a terrible sin. Pride cometh before a fall was often quoted to me, and God didn't like us if we were proud. As a lonely kid, I was always seeking God, and I always felt closest to him in nature. A shoreline, a field, a stream, on a beautiful clear day, in the rain, in a snowstorm. But what always felt most like him was wind. A gentle breeze, a strong wind, a gale. The invisibility of a rush of air was both his mysterious side and his physical presence. As I grew older, I also began to find him in art. At first music, then theater, then all the performing arts, then the visual arts, painting, sculpture, film, architecture. Just entering St. Bart's still gives me that rush. And photography. On February 12th, 2005, an installation called The Gates opened in Central Park here in New York. It was conceived by the artists Christo and Jean-Claude. They had started planning it in 1979, and 26 years later, it opened. It consisted of 7,503 saffron banners made of this fabric, and they were visible everywhere in the park. 26 years in the making, and it was there for only 16 days, and I was in the park for at least 12 of those, with my two 35mm cameras. I saw the gates in daytime, nighttime, in sunshine, rain, and most spectacularly, just after a snowstorm dumped about 4 to 5 inches of beautiful snow in the city. And then for the next few days, I got to see the images reflected in melting puddles everywhere. And I loved every minute of it. It brought my two worlds together where I searched for God, art in nature. And it was February in New York. There was always wind, and every time the air moved, so did the gates. And the more I began to see the Spirit move among us, I began to learn to see God everywhere. I'm proud of some of my pictures. Sorry, Mom. What follows is a slideshow of 20 of my favorite images. Thanks to my friend Jeremy for his incredible assistance putting this together. Thanks to Barry, my husband, for dealing with my anxiety about doing this at all. And thanks to everyone at St. Bart's who thought of us coming together this way for Pride 2020. Enjoy the slides. Stay safe. And until we meet again in church, happy Pride.
I don't know if you can hear me, or if you're even there. I don't know if you would listen to a humble prayer. Yes, I know I'm just an outcast. I shouldn't speak to you. Still I see your face and wonder, were you once an outcast too? God help the outcasts hungry from birth. Show them the mercy they don't find on earth. God help my people, they look to you still. God help the outcasts, or nobody will. I ask for wealth, I ask for fame, I ask for glory to shine on my name. I ask for love I can possess. I ask for God and His angels to bless me. I ask for nothing, I can get by, but I know so many less lucky than I. Please help my people, the poor and downtrodden. I thought we all were the children of God. God help the outcasts, children of God.
Hello, Barry Phillips here with a few random shares around St. Bart's and Pride and such. You see, being a member of St. Bart's has enabled me to do a few things which I'm proud of and was made proud by. There was an off-Broadway musical and play that were written for me in mind. I did a one-man show with stuff now up on YouTube. There was a Were You There? Sung from the clerestory of St. Bart's during the reading of the Passion. St. Bart's also enabled me to be a lab rat. For a number of years I had been studied by the Columbia Research Project, and in 1995 the Aaron Diamond AIDS Research Center, headed by Dr. David Ho, Time Magazine's Man of the Year for 1996, Dr. Ho ascertained that I had neutralizing antibodies. And these antibodies ate the HIV virus when isolated in the lab. So Dr. Ho and his team told me that they were going to study me almost exclusively because they thought I might be the cure for AIDS. Hearing that, it is very useful to also concurrently be choir father. Believe me. So for a number of years, while ensconced in my own private Rockefeller University hospital room, there were frequent blood and semen and urine lettings. There were pokings and proddings and spinal taps and biopsies. I guinea pigged protease inhibitors, and in 2009 at an ADARC, Aaron Diamond Age Research Center, ADARC, FET at Lincoln Center. Bill Clinton thanked me for my singular contribution. I am forever mystified by, and humbled by, and proud of my work with and for the Aaron Diamond Age Research Center. St. Bartholomew's also enabled my head to explode. In 1999, then Senior Associate Rector Denver Hart was giving a sermon. And during the sermon, he spoke about having AIDS. Now, we knew he had AIDS, but to hear it spoken of, aloud, from the pulpit, made for very charged air. And then from my choir stall, I watched my congregation walk up to that communion rail, kneel down, take the chalice from Denver Hart's hands, and flinch not at all. There was a subliminal, palpable, communal squaring of shoulders. And I thought to myself, this is St. Bart's, baby! Talk about pride! Oh, my God. Being a member of St. Bart's is something about which I am not only proud, I am bloody grateful every day. Thank you for letting me share. God bless St. Bart's. God bless you. Happy Pride.
I've been writing church music since the 1980s. And in that time, over those years that I've been with my husband, Jim Paddleford, now 35 years, I realized that I hadn't written a tune for him. And so I found an incredible text by an out lesbian minister from the United Church of Canada named Sylvia Dunstan. She wrote a text that is just really powerful, in my opinion. She calls the text Christus Paradox. And so I would like to just share a couple of verses of that hymn sung to the tune Paddleford that was written for Jim. Happy Pride, St. Bart's.
I've got life, mother. I've got laughs, sister. I've got freedom, brother. I've got good times, man. I've got crazy wise daughter. I've got $1 million charm cousin. I've got headaches and toothaches and bad times too, like you. I've got my hair, I got my head, I got my brains, I got my ears, I got my eyes, I got my nose, I got my mouth, got my teeth. I've got my tongue, I got my chin, I got my neck, I got my tits, I got my heart, I got my soul, I got my back, got my... I've got my arms, I got my hands, I got my fingers, got my legs, I got my feet, I got my toes, I got my liver, got my blood. I've got life, mother. I've got laugh, sister. I've got freedom, brother. I've got good times, man. I got crazy ways, daughter. I've got $1 million charm, cousin. I've got headaches, toothaches, bad times too, like you. I've got my hair, I got my head, I got my brains, I got my ears, I got my eyes, I got my nose, I got my mouth, got my teeth. I've got my tongue, I got my chin, I got my neck, I got my tits, I got my heart, I got my soul, I got my back, got my... I got my arms, I got my hands, I got my fingers, got my legs, I got my feet, I got my toes, I got my liver, got my blood. I've got guts, I've got muscles, I got life, 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 life.
was a teenager when religious rock operas hit the scene. And while I loved Jesus Christ Superstar, the one that really touched me was Godspell. My favorite song from that religious rock opera is By My Side. It's a song that Mary Magdalene sings to Jesus. And my sense is that both of them were transformed.
My name is Anthony Turner. I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and health. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, this little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow skies are blue, and the that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I wish you're gonna start and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like raindrops away up on the chimney top. And where you find me somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I?
Hi everyone, happy Pride. When I was in seminary, I had the great fortune of singing in a choir led by the musician Mark Miller, whose songs consistently spoke to the power of love and inclusion over fear and hate. I'm going to sing two of those songs for you now. I Choose Love and I Dream of a Church.
I dream of a
dream of a world where love reigns among us, and your will is done. Oh God, make it so.
Hi, I'm Marshall Taylor, and I came to St. Bart's in 1982 to sing with the 11 O'Clock Choir. I'm also a member of the LGBTQ+ group, and for the last 15 years I've been singing bass with the Empire City Men's Chorus. Last year we sang our 25th anniversary concert at St. Bart's, and we debuted a piece by Lydia Jane Pugh entitled Love is Enough. I think it's the perfect piece for the times we find ourselves in right now, and for Pride 2020. Thank you.